Richard Nixon wasn't the only president to secretly record conversations in the Oval Office. Franklin D. Roosevelt did it, so did Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Harry S. Truman.
Lend-Lease began as soon as the war ceased. It was not a cancellation, it was a readjustment to the new conditions as they came about due to the collapse of Germany.
That scratchy disc was secretly made in the Truman Oval Office about 1945. It's part of a 10-disc series that's just now attracting public attention. Most of the Truman tapes are nearly impossible to understand, yet they provide a clouded window into Mr. Truman's Oval Office. The director of the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri, explains how the discs were received.
Originally, this material was sent to the Roosevelt Library by a staff member of the White House, or from the White House, in 1952. And really, I don't think that anyone, either in the White House or at the Roosevelt Library, felt that this material was of a great deal of consequence. And you realize that these presidential libraries have tons and tons of material, and so it was not until the early 1970s that the Roosevelt Library started going through this material that had been sent to it from the White House. And lo and behold, they identified a very, very small portion of this material that they felt belonged to the Truman period.
The Truman tapes were recorded by an old film recording machine and installed by President Roosevelt about 1940. When Roosevelt died, the recorder remained for approximately 2 years. Soon after Truman took office, he had the machine turned on to produce the only known recording of a Truman presidential news conference before 1951. Remember, the reporters probably weren't aware they were being recorded.
Mr. President, a couple of weeks ago you told us you knew Hitler was dead, but you wouldn't give us very much detail about it. Can you give us any now? Yes, I think I can tell you why I thought Hitler was dead. Himmler had told our minister in Sweden through I think Prince Bernadotte of Sweden, that Hitler had had a stroke and that he wouldn't have the 24 hours to live. And I understood that whenever Himmler said anybody has just 24 hours to live, that's about
I would have to also say that in all of our documentary records, and here at the library you're talking about 14 million documents plus, I mean, we have just simply found no evidence of the existence of this sound system or how it was used or anything. This whole matter, as far as we are concerned, is still, by and large, a great big mystery.
A former Truman White House aide was recently quoted as saying that after the former president listened to the recorded discs, he didn't like them. In fact, Truman said he wanted nothing to do with them. Library Director Zobrist says it's also a mystery why these recordings were used sporadically in 1945 and again in 1947. Zobrist speculates the machine may have been accidentally turned on several times during this period.
You listen, for a half an hour to these recordings, and you hear such things as a clock chiming in the background, and you hear doors slamming, and you hear workmen counting 1, 2, 3, 4, testing. Anytime you get a recording of this type, it's in a sense really neat because you have the man himself talking and you get the inflections of his voice, so it just really brings Harry Truman to life.
The Truman tapes are now open to researchers at the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri. For KCUR-FM, this is Gary Edwards.